chat field and a Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to use the Q&A chat field. I will be moderating these questions and Andrew will be answering them. Also, this webinar will be recorded for your future needs. I will now turn this mic to Andrew. Take it away, Andrew.
Thanks, Rochelle. Thank you everyone for joining. So we'll be talking a bit about multi-gig solutions and Wi-Fi 6E. To start things off with, I'd like to take this time to introduce our new solution for this these type of deployments. Our latest model is the EX7710, which is a tri-band gateway. So it supports 2.4, 5G, and now 6G, getting us into the Wi-Fi 6E support. Also bundled on our device is a multi-gig 10 gig, up to 10 gig WAN connection, and a matching 10 gig LAN connection. So we're really moving towards these higher end multi-gig solutions, and of course bundling that with Wi-Fi 6E to take advantage of the higher throughput that we can get. Of course, our devices are, as always, industry standard TR69 support. We'll continue developing those there. And with this model, we are looking to have this as well certified with Plume OpenSync. So we are taking that as well, that route as well, to offer an alternative for a cloud solution. All right. And if we could kick it off with the first poll, Michelle.
Sure. Let's do the first poll. All right. For the first poll, what service levels over 1G are you deploying? None, currently offering services only up to 1G, up to 2G, services up to 8G, or none. Okay, anybody, you can start with the poll now.
All right.
Okay, it seems like the winner is services up to 8G. There you go.
Okay, good information there. Definitely. I mean, that's something that we're definitely seeing with a lot of the providers that we work with. Really, as of now, we're seeing a lot of them offer up to 2G service, definitely multi-gig, but we're also seeing that next step up to 8 gig services with their XGS-PON deployments. Great. So if we can get into the questions now, Rochelle, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, for the first question, do you have a speed test tool in web UI of EX7710 router?
Okay, so not currently. There is no tool available directly, like a push button, something like that. But we are exploring, various options to implement and really verify, obviously, speed tests, because having a 10 gig WAN connection, I mean, there's going to be a lot of subscribers that want to verify those speeds, that want to make sure they're getting what they paid for, right? So we are still actively working and exploring various different solutions. On the Plume OpenSync side, we have started investigating SAM-nose integration, things like that, to achieve this so that providers can, have an easy way to show their subscribers that they're delivering that full bandwidth that devices are capable of. So it's still an ongoing effort. On the TR69 side, of course, we still support TR143 as a standard speed test, but as we get higher and higher gig speeds, then we have to use there's different methods, different mechanisms that we have to implement in order to achieve that higher throughput. So it's still a very work in progress, but of course, that's why we offer the 10 gig LAN port on the device as well. so that from an installer perspective, we can go in and make sure once it's installed up and running, you can show the customer that through and through speed.
Wonderful. All right. For our next question, is there a way to run a packet capture from web UI of the EX7710 router?
Packet capture, that's an interesting question, but yes, we do have that capability in our devices. In our standard firmware, we offer a WAN port mirror feature, so we can definitely perform those types of functions.
Okay, great answer. All right, the third question is kind of a long one. Is there an auto WAN detection mechanism to detect the ISP's connection type and configure the WAN interface for zero touch provisioning? For example, PPOE using default credentials preloaded by ISP or Zyxel. If no success, then moves to IPOE DH/DHCP.
Okay, so these are more of configuration settings, configuration items, which we can definitely customize and tailor to fit most subscriber or most providers actually, and fit their network needs. So this is something we can definitely work with with you guys on to definitely address and implement as we move forward. We have done things like this in the past, and we can definitely do them again. There's I guess we could say we have the know-how, so we can definitely implement these types of features and functions. And of course, if you're interested in using this solution, please reach out to us for an evaluation. We can get you set up and get tested, and then we can work with you on those more advanced configuration things. And of course, what we call our ROMD process, basically burning in your custom image onto the device is something we do support, when you order from us.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay, for the next question, why are we seeing so much discussion around multi-gig?
Okay. Well, this one's, a lot of it is what we're seeing is driven from the market competition, of course, and then all of the funding that's available to further build out these fiber deployments. So if we're capable of doing this and easily upgrading the networks to, well, maybe not easily, but, I think more financially easier to upgrade these networks for higher throughput, higher bandwidth. It's definitely something that we should offer to subscribers so they can take advantage of everything they need to do in the home. As the connected home continues to grow, we're seeing a lot more devices that are sort of always on, always utilizing bandwidth. So especially during peak times, we want to be able to ensure that we can share the bandwidth across everything that's needed throughout the home.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Moving on. Another question from our attendees, one of our attendees, how can we prove speeds up to 10G? Okay,
so this is sort of related to the one in previously I mentioned, or that was asked about the speed test tool availability. So again, we do have that 10 gig WAN, 10 gig LAN on our gateway that's available now. And with that, we can, of course, run a speed test from LAN to WAN as we traditionally do now with 1 gig connections, 2 gig connections. But of course, then we need to make sure that the subscriber devices are able to support 10 gig, things like that. There are some other factors that we need to sort of educate the subscribers on to take advantage of that full 10 gig speed. And like I had mentioned previously as well, with TR69, we're exploring various options, and on the OpenSync side, we're also investigating those tools that are available on that side as well to prove out those 10G speeds.
Okay, great. All right. Next question. The other EX series, dual band, have the single SSID option or managed separately. What is the approach for 6E, is there still the option to manage the 6 gigahertz SSID separately if desired? Did you want me to repeat that, Andrew, or you're good?
I got it. I understand
Okay.
that question. So this is more related to our mesh solution within our gateways. So traditionally on our previous generation, just standard Wi-Fi 6 products, we have a single SSID for the 2.4 and 5G. Similarly, with the 7710, we'll have the same feature functionality. And just like our Wi-Fi 6 products, we can always separate those SSIDs, separate networks for each band. We'll be able to do the same on the EX7710. So we definitely have more flexibility. I mean, well, we still have that same flexibility available on our newer product as well.
Okay. Next question. What is the benefit of Wi-Fi 6E?
Okay, so with Wi-Fi 6E, the major thing, of course, is we're moving into that 6 gigahertz spectrum, moving away from obviously the heavily congested 2.4 and 5G spectrums. So it's fresh ground. It's all new. So we have a lot of, we're going to have a lot less congestion. It's going to be much cleaner to work with. And as we move into 6E as well, we're also expanding the amount of available channels, increasing the channel bandwidth, of course, and allowing for more throughput. And in terms of deployments with 6G, where because there are so many more additional channels to work with, we're working towards eliminating that congestion that we see now with neighboring networks on the 2.4 and 5G. So moving to the 6G is definitely going to benefit us, especially in the long run, when we move on to newer wireless technologies. Moving into that new spectrum space, it's definitely a good thing all around.
Great. Okay, so we just wanted to remind our attendees this is a pure Q&A. It's not a webinar, so you are more than welcome to send in your questions, and Andrew will be happy to answer them. All right, moving on.
If we could do if we can do the second poll.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. All right. Yeah. Okay, we will launch the next poll, which is, which Wi-Fi technology do you offer to your subscribers? The first one, we are currently deploying a Wi-Fi 6. Second, Wi-Fi 6E or 6E solution. Third, we are currently deploying a Wi-Fi 5. And the last one, none of our subscribers bring their own gateway. Okay, let's start the poll. All right, Andrew, we have the winner. We are currently deploying a Wi-Fi 6 solution.
Okay, great. That's pretty on par with what we're seeing as well. Everyone taking advantage of the capabilities of Wi-Fi 6.
Right. Okay, Andrew, are you ready for the next question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Will the Wi-Fi 7 benefit networks without Wi-Fi 7 capable devices?
Okay, it's a bit of a jump in wireless, but yes, definitely. Wi-Fi 7 will still operate with the same over the same spectrums. So we still have a 2.4G, 5G, and 6G radios to work with. So I mean, they are obviously still standard, so they'll definitely be able to utilize legacy clients, things like that.
Okay. Next question, Andrew. Do you have a user guide where we can see the way how to use the, what's this? Passive capture?
Yes. If you want to I'm trying to think of a way we can follow up. We can definitely follow up with you on that and get that for you. I don't know if we want to maybe get their contact information or something, Rochelle, if we can do that.
Yeah.
We can definitely follow up with them and show them, guide them through that process, definitely.
Great. Okay, next question. Are you planning to have a 10G Wi-Fi 6E router with FXS ports?
So this is something that has definitely come up in the past, and it's currently obviously still a need. It's definitely some feedback that I can approach the rest of our product management team with. But currently we do not have that on our roadmap. But that with a built-in sort of yeah, we just don't have something like that on our roadmap at this time. The latest and greatest that we have to offer right now is our EX7710, which I showed you in the previous. We can jump back. Oops. Oh, I lost it. Which is our which the details are pretty quick.
Okay.
There we go. There's the details of our 7710, and you can see the back panel there of what's available on the device.
Great. All right. Okay. Next question. Wait a minute. What's this asked already? Are you planning to have a 10G Wi-Fi 6E router with SF?
That's the one we just talked about. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so next question. Why bundle 10G with Wi-Fi 6E? Following to that, what's the value?
Well, with Wi-Fi 6E, we're already seeing with the Wi-Fi 6E client, of course, we're able to see speeds upwards, definitely at least up to and over a gig. In some situations, we're seeing almost 1.5 gig download speeds. So what we're seeing here with 10G is obviously it makes sense, right, to offer up to 8G speeds if you can, and when combining that with 6E, more clients are able to take advantage. They will be able to take advantage of those multi-gig speeds, especially as we're seeing more Wi-Fi 6E devices come to market. A lot of discussion has been going around with Apple implementing their 6E chips as well on their devices, and that's, I think, where we'll see a lot of a lot more devices, a lot more subscribers taking advantage and wanting to take advantage of 6E because they can get those higher speeds and do more with their devices.
Great. Okay, we just wanted to remind the audience that this is your chance to ask questions for Andrew. We have more time than the regular webinars, so keep pouring those questions. All right, next question, Andrew. Any plans to have Wi-Fi 6E router with SFP cage with support of third-party GPON or XGS-PON SFP modules?
That's the same, similar question. So we don't have any plans currently. Again, but it is some feedback that we can definitely take back with our team for discussion. There's, when we start going down this road, there's just a lot of different variables that come into play, a lot of different interop issues that we could potentially run into. We're usually, we try to work with any and all vendors we can, right? So we try to interrupt with anybody else we can that's really willing to work with us. But from a lot of the time, that type of interop is really customer driven. So if you're already working with these SFP modules, we're again more than willing to work with you. No problem there. We'll definitely try to interop as much as we can. But it's a lot of it is really on the third party to really be open to working with us as well. So we definitely had some challenges there. But so that's sort of why we don't currently have any roadmap, things like that for those types of things, but we'll still take that into consideration.
Okay, great. That's a great answer. All right, next is there an extender set available for 6E?
Yes, absolutely. From Zycel, we do offer, it is, we are finalizing, the software there to be ready for our extender, which will pair with our EX7710. It's our WX5610 extender. It will include obviously Wi-Fi 6E support, and we'll also bundle a 10G LAN port as well as a 2.5G LAN port to, again, higher bandwidth availability.
Okay, next is how do you see the life cycle of Wi-Fi 6E? I understand that Wi-Fi 7 is coming sometime this year. Should we wait and bypass Wi-Fi 6E or for a Wi-Fi 7 device?
Okay, that's a very good question. The way we're really seeing Wi-Fi 6E and what it has to offer is, I want to say, more of a stepping stone, right? It's getting us ready for the next big thing in Wi-Fi 7. So I think they're definitely related. And in terms of waiting, I believe that, as we've seen Wi-Fi 6E get sort of almost slowly adopted, especially on consumer devices, mobile phones, things like that. We're definitely gonna, I think we'll see sort of a similar pattern with Wi-Fi 7, almost because there's, especially when we move to Wi-Fi 7, there's gonna be, just a small amount of devices that will really be able to take advantage of what Wi-Fi 7 brings. So it's sort of like we're trying to almost provide some future proofing capabilities on at least the Wi-Fi aspect. And from the Zycel side, that's why we've paired it with our 10G WAN connection, so that we can extend the life cycle of that device so it can be used for a longer period of time, especially as more devices adopt 6E. So that's at least our approach to, but of course we are always looking forward as well, and Wi-Fi 7 is on our radar. It is something we will work towards, but I don't believe there's really too much a reason to wait on 6E. So we'll be in a similar situation when 7 comes out, and even beyond that is going to be even more, let's say, interesting.
That's a great question and great answer, Andrew. Okay, we have a really interactive audience here. Next question is there a flexible multi-level local user management to assign access levels per IPS needs?
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so this is more, again, related to our device functionality specifically. We do support this flexibility, having multi-tiered access so that your end user subscriber does not need to access all of the entire web interface, all of the settings available in our devices, especially TR69 row management capabilities. Those are usually reserved for the ISP level, the support side on the network side, whereas you don't want the subscriber to be messing with those, knocking a device offline so that you can no longer manage and support that subscriber if they do run into trouble.
Okay, another question. What about Wi-Fi security with Wi-Fi 6E and changes to be aware of? Does the Wi-Fi 6E security work the same way as in the past Wi-Fi? What about the 6 gigahertz band security?
So with Wi-Fi 6E, we are working with WPA3 security. So there's no real major changes to be aware of. I think the since it is a new spectrum and these devices that are supporting 6E are coming, obviously with a 6E chip capability, they'll already have the support for this higher security that's available with Wi-Fi 6 in general. 6 and 6E both utilize WPA3 security. So I believe a lot of those will be ready to go out of the box. Just as far as subscriber devices, client devices that support 6E, they'll be able to work with that new security, no problem. So hopefully we won't have to worry about, software updates on client sides, things like that. Since they have a 6E chip, they'll should, I don't like to say it, but they should have that, capability to work with the latest security as well.
All right, Andrew, I don't know if you already answered this. How are Wi-Fi 6E and 7 impacting throughput?
I think we've sort of touched on it a bit, but I can definitely address it again. With Wi-Fi 6E, like I mentioned, we're already seeing speeds over a gig. Clients that are able to utilize the 6E and 6 gigahertz spectrum can already go over a gig, which is great to see. And with Wi-Fi 7, Wi-Fi 7 is extremely high throughput. That's, it's feature functionality. That's what it's going to bring, is really, really high throughput. And I believe once we move to, Wi-Fi 7, we're going to definitely see a lot of more devices taking advantage with multi-gig throughput over the wireless. And multi-gig, I'm talking obviously over, the capability of 6E, but we should definitely see, more and more multi-gig throughput once we move to Wi-Fi 7.
Great. All right. This question, our last question, it's interesting. What's next from Zyxel?
Oh, okay. So like I mentioned, we do have our matching pair extender coming out for our mesh solution with Wi-Fi 6E. To match our EX7710, we will have that WX5610. So we have that mesh capability that we continue to do with our Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, and now obviously Wi-Fi 6E products, very similar there as far as steering, things like that. And then, of course, what we're looking towards next and always on the horizon is, I think, as the year progresses, especially towards the end of the year, we should see a lot more heavy discussion around Wi-Fi 7. And obviously, that is on our roadmap. That's something that we are constantly tracking as far as the certification process. And we want to be obviously at the forefront, and we're constantly working towards developing a solution for that as well.
Great. Andrew, I know I said the last question, but there's another question and more questions. Okay, this is great though. How many Wi-Fi guest networks are available with Wi-Fi 6E router when you are using all 3 bands?
So with our devices, and specifically our EX7710, we typically per band, we offer up to 4 SSIDs. So that would be 1 primary and 3 additional guest networks. With the 7710, if you're going to be using, I want to say it could be up to 2 available guest networks with the 6E on the 6 gigahertz radio. And that's because 1 or 2 of those additional networks may be used for our either backhaul, something like that, sort of a hidden network that's reserved for a specific function within our device. But will definitely have the availability of guest networks on our gateway.
Okay, next question. Do you have a mobile app for the management of EX770?
Okay, so yes, we will have a bundled app available for our Wi-Fi 6E solution that will be ready once once we're able to offer our extender, the matching pair. So once we have the set available for the market for the WX5610 extender, 6E extender, we'll definitely have a new app available for subscriber, local and remote management, some basic feature functionality. So it gives them a little more control of what's going on in their home with their devices.
Okay, great. Well, so far, that was the last question, but we can wait for another minute before we close this Q&A. Oh, another question pop up. Okay. Okay, this is a great, it's a comment.
Yeah, we're good.
Andrew is great. You should give him a raise. Okay, I'll let the bosses know.
Right on.
Okay, wonderful. And okay, we'll wait for another 1 minute to if anybody still thinking what to ask. So
yeah, if there's any, of course, if there's any other way we can help with anything, any other questions you have, any other questions on our solutions, any way we can help, please definitely feel free to reach out to us. The easiest email that gets to the important folks that will be able to assist you, broadband@zycel.com, so we can get conversations going whenever you need.
okay, let's wait for another minute, and if there's no question, we'll close this session. Okay, there's another one showed up. How much does the Wi-Fi 6E router cost?
So I'm not entirely sure on the product marketing side, but again, if you want to contact our sales team, we can definitely start those discussions with you about costs and things like that.
Yeah. Or you can go to the website or just, ask our customer service.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we'll definitely be able to work with you to at least get that process started so we can get those discussions going.
Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, there's a question here. What trade shows is Zycel attending? We have a bunch of trade shows, which I mean, they are listed on our website. If you want to answer that too, Andrew.
Oh, we'll be everywhere and anywhere we can go. We'll be there. Coming up, we'll be up at the ITA show next week in Portland, as well as the Big Sky Tech Fest in Montana. We'll be at the MTA coming up soon, the ICA show as well coming up this month. We'll be there.
Yes, we're everywhere, but to get the complete list, you can just go to our website under events and everything is there.
Yep.
All right, so
some more.
I'm sorry?
Come talk to us some more.
Yeah. I guess that would be it. And so we are closing this webinar. I'm sorry, this session, Q&A session. And hopefully we'll see you on our next Q&A. We'll send you an invite. And Andrew, would you like to do your parting words to our...
I don't know about parting words, but again, just thank you.
There's another question here.
Okay.
How can I get a sample product to test with?
Oh, so we do offer evaluations, trials. We ask just, for some feedback, good, bad, indifferent, whatever it may be. But please contact us, contact our sales team. You can also go to our website and request a sample so that, again, we can get you testing, get you up and running, and answer any questions you might have as well.
All right. So once again, if any questions, just send Andrew or any of our account managers or sales rep any questions, and we'll be happy to answer that for you. And thank you again for attending our Q&A sesh.
Yes,
and
thank you very much.
I
we
will
appreciate
see you.
all the questions. That was very
I'm sorry?
good. We appreciate all the questions. That was very
Oh,
good.
yeah, definitely. We appreciate all the questions. So Andrew, time to say goodbye.
Yeah, that was it. Again, I definitely appreciate all the questions. Thank you for attending, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Have a great weekend, you guys. Thank you. Bye.